Tuesday, the 21st day of January in the year 2025. My name is Marquis Harris-Dawson. I serve as chair of this city council. Public comment will be taken in the council chamber in person for this morning's meeting. Let's begin our proceedings by calling roll. Mr. Clerk.
Yes, Mr. President. Blumenfield, Harris-Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Jurado, Lee, McCosker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of January 15, 2025.
Councilmember Nazarian moves. Councilmember Hutt seconds. Next.
Combinatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Rodriguez moves. Councilmember Soto Martinez seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
All right, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise, face the flag, and follow along with Councilmember Yaroslavsky in the reading of our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Council President. Please rise if you are able. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Clerk, let's run through the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President. Items 1 through 15 are items noticed for public hearing. The Los Angeles Department of Building Safety recommends to confirm the link for item 14. The Government Operations Committee reports for items 20 and 21 have been submitted and posted online to the respective council files. Items 22 through 36 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Please note the time limit noted for item 36 on the council agenda is not applicable to the consideration of motion Rahman Lee. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are now before us. Do members have any specials? Any specials to my left? Councilmember Hutt.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to continue item number 17 till the 29th, next Wednesday.
The 20th?
29th.
of February, all right. Without objection, that'll be the order. What's next? Anybody else on this side? Mr. Lee.
I'd like to thank Mr. President. Item number 1 for purpose of an amendment. I believe the city attorney, copy? We'll circulate it in a second.
All right, has the amendment been circulated and have a second on it? All right, we'll come back to that. If there are no others on this side, Councilmember Rahman.
I'd like to call item 29 special for a comment, and if other members have questions.
All right, item number 29 special. Any others on this side? You guys, no? No? All right. We also have an amendment for item number 14, which has been signed, seconded, and posted. All right. Councilmember Rodriguez.
On item 31, I wanted to, I know that's going to still require public hearing, but I do want to see if we can bifurcate a section of that motion.
All right, there's a motion to bifurcate. City Attorney, do we hear that now or do we wait until we've had public comment? So the City Attorney's advising that we wait until after public comment to do that bifurcation.
Okay.
Okay. All right, any other specials? Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to call item 21 special for a separate vote, please. Thank you.
All right, 21. All right, any others? Going once, twice. All right, Mr. Clerk, what's available for us to vote on?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 16, 18, 19, and 20.
All right, those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right, what's next?
The council may now vote on item 21, called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote.
All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
The council may now proceed to public comment.
All right, if we could read the instructions for public comment into the record and proceed.
To people providing public comment, When it is your turn to speak, either at the podium, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else within the city's subject matter jurisdiction. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 1 through 15 and items 22 through 36. So again, the items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 15 and items 22 through 36. Just a few more announcements. When you hear, please wait to hear your name called before you line up on the left. Once you hear your name called for public comment, you do not need to line up in the order in which it was called. If I could have the interpreter make this announcement aloud to the room. If you require a Spanish language interpreter,
Si usted necesita de un intérprete en lengua española,
please make sure you pause every few sentences so the interpreters can actually interpret.
por favor haga una pausa en cada oración para que el intérprete pueda hacer su trabajo.
We will pause your time so you'll get the same amount of time as everyone else.
Vamos a pausar el tiempo de traducción de tal manera que usted va a tener el mismo tiempo que todos los demás.
And finally, for any amendments that have been made, we are not reading them aloud orally, but you can check the board over there on your right-hand side where they will be posted. Thank you.
There are a total of 5 names signed up. I will call all 5. Susan Rocha, Ian Jameson, Audit LA, Harriet Elliott, and Chuck Powell.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to? Sorry, I didn't realize you didn't have the microphone yet.
Sorry. No worries. I gave you slack. I would like to speak on public comment and all agenda items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I want to say that we don't really need any more liquor licenses. You can go anywhere in the city of LA and see plenty of alcohol and plenty of people drinking alcohol. So I think we have plenty. And it's no judgment. It's just we have a lot. Okay, the background checks, yes, we definitely need a new ADA person because you guys are so non-compliant with ADA, like in Mr. Hugo's division, just allowing this Church of Scientology to have all their planters illegally put there, non-ADA compliant. So I really need this person hired. But at the same time, why are you putting anyone to be voted on prior to the background check being completed? Like I see the other one, the background check has been completed. That's how it should be. You should do that with everyone because once you get in here, it's really hard to get out. But we need, like I said, the ADA person. Hopefully they will help Mr. Hugo to be able to help get his area compliant with the illegal, non-ADA compliant planters surrounding Church of Scientology on L. Ron Hubbard Way. That's what we need. So we need somebody that can help him if he's too afraid to stand up to the Church of Scientology. Then maybe this new person, I would like you to ask them, are you afraid to, please ask them when you're interviewing them, are you afraid of the Church of Scientology or will you be willing to help Mr. Hugo get them to be ADA compliant with federal laws? I really need these answers, please. The stairs, okay, being named. No offense to Mr. Weston at all. No offense to anyone who's ever served on this council, on this city council. But you know what? You guys are not the heroes. The people are the heroes. It should be named, every stair should be named after the people, you know, in this city who have done legendary things. Heroes in this city, because no offense, you guys are politicians, you're not heroes. Sometimes we like you, sometimes we hate you. It depends on the day, it depends. It may not even be the day. It could be from issue by issue, we like or hate you. So none of you deserve stairs. The only one who might be, you know, right now, like I said, I'm still very fond of Mr. McCosker, my favorite, and you know who's my second, okay? But no, it needs to be after heroic citizens. The pedestrian tunnel, I'm nervous about that because we brought to your attention numerous times about, to the city, and they know it's true because they've already, I know there's already the Board of whatever, safety looking into it about the Church of Scientology building tunnels or reinforcing tunnels underneath their compound without any permit. And you guys are so slow. I don't know if it's because Mr. Hugo is afraid to deal with the Church of Scientology or he just doesn't care. I don't know. But regardless, you guys, the tunnels can implode and people can get hurt.
General public comment?
Okay, general public comment. I want these ADA compliant, like sorry, I can't even think straight. I'm so upset about it. I want the planters ADA compliant. I don't understand why the city can't do it. Is it fear of, if Scientology is so huge and so scary that that you don't have to force them to live up to the ADA laws for, you know, being accessibility, then what is going on in this city? Then let's fire all of you and people here who have the courage to stand up to Scientology. You know what? Can I have his spot? Because I'm not afraid to take them on. Mr. Hugo, maybe I'll run against you because I'm not afraid to take this on. And Smoke and Scan, I would like to know what I know they can't stand all the shenanigans either, I bet. You know, it's time to have it where, why does the ADA community have to suffer because Mr. Hugo and you guys, all of you, the whole entire city, Public Works, mayor, whoever, is too afraid to confront the cult of Scientology.
Next speaker. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All of them in general.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
My name is Susan Rocha. I live in CD1. I have a noise problem with Divine Savior Catholic Church and their tape recorder and their amplified sound
Ms.
system.
Rocha, this is
that
not on
goes
the
off.
agenda, so I'm going to ask you to stick to the agenda items for the first 3 minutes, or you can move to general public comment if you'd like.
Okay, I'll move to general.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so they blast their tape recordings and their amplified sound system in my home 10 times a day, every day. They don't give a damn about anybody else or their neighbors. They do whatever they want, and the city says it's just fine. And the city attorney says it's just fine, that they could blast their noise anytime they feel like it in their tape recorder and their bullhorns. This is a church that took me to court twice, and they lost twice. They falsely accused me of a crime. Priest Albert Prakasam prosecuted for the prosecution, even though he never saw anything. And Hernandez supports his church. She was at their fair festivals and their food giveaway. Yet they lost, not guilty. 12 people believe me and not Priest Albert and his lying Catholic Church, Divine Savior. That's really cruel. And you want to support them. Yeah. That's very mean. Why'd you turn off their amplified sound system? Are you afraid of them? Scared? Chicken?
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. So, Ms. Rocha, I need you to vacate the podium. This is your first and only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. We have other speakers to hear from. Thank you. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Chuck Powell, and I signed up for item 18.
So item 18 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I just want to thank the City Council for the amazing job that you guys always do. It's refreshing, and it's somewhat disheartening on some of the abuse that that you folks have to take. So I want to apologize myself for that. I want to. We're here to support the project. It's always nice when you have a developer that's doing the right thing, hiring skilled in labor. And a lot of that goes to with knowing that it's skilled in labor and the cost of the project getting done on time and the safety factor of the skilled and trained that are doing that particular job and utilizing a state-accredited apprenticeship program. So again, I want to give a shout out to the developer for doing the right thing and making it right for the state and the city. Thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
11.
Okay, so you have
I'm
1 minute
Harriet
go
Elliott.
ahead.
I only want to make a couple comments about the lighting. I'm seeing so many items about lighting, and I walk home at night with no lights at all. It's a danger. By the way, my father is higher than you guys. My father is he died 5 years ago, 2000. Anyway, 5 years ago. He is he was the head of child services, or whatever that's called. Okay, I'm moving on. Anyway, yeah, George Gammon, and 15 years. He told me he was higher than that woman. Anyway, never mind. Kenny Hahn. He said he's as high as Kenny Hahn. Anyway, poco a poco. I'm going to moving on to general public comment. Poco a poco me di cuenta que alguien está engañando a alguien. No puede ser la mujer.
Permítame, just 1 minute. Little by little, I realize that somebody is lying to anybody, to somebody. It cannot be possible that women.
Thank you for interpreting. Es decir, Faith Windsor, profesora, todavía vive según Ancestry.com.
This teacher is still living according to Ancestry.com.
Pero nadie está al tanto de este engaño.
But nobody knows about this lie.
¿Cómo ocultar a una profesora de ciencia política si existe ella?
How this professor of political science does exist.
Consulté con Stella Theodoulou en CSUN y ella me escribió. Recuerdo ella aproximado en 1991.
I wrote to Miss Stella, and she wrote me that she remembered about her in 1991.
No sería difícil llamarla.
It would not be difficult to call her.
¿Y por qué ustedes no han llamado a ella? You should have called her. You need to help me. There's 20 people missing. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm a victim of directed energy, and people have been killed through cancer. All my friends, 20 friends.
Uh, 24, 30, 31 in general public comment, please.
Okay, good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please
Thank
begin
you
with the
so
items.
much. One, I would like the people of Los Angeles to know that the city has taken off of their council vote database the May 23rd, 2024 vote to defund LAFD. You got that right. If you think this is conspiracy theory, people of Los Angeles, please go on the website, Google LA City Council vote
So
database.
you're welcome to speak to this during general, but I'm going to ask that you stick to the items
This
for the
is
first
about
3 minutes.
LAFD and the vote to defund it and how that made for the disaster in the Palisades. Could you please tell me how I'm off topic, Mr. Grote?
Oh, again, this is for the agenda items only. You're
I
welcome
know,
to continue
and the
that
agenda
during-
items pertain to LAFD. Could you please tell me how I'm off topic, Mr. Grote? 24, 30,
So
and
this
31.
is your last opportunity. I'm going to move you to general public comment if you don't stick to the agenda.
Unbelievable. Okay, great. R.J. Kilpatrick, a brilliant paramedic that was fired by the city, asked, why is the LAFD still moving forward with Board of Rights for members who haven't complied with the code mandate? That's Rick Tanga and Gabby Mendo, set to be fired under the ridiculous for failing to comply with ridiculous vaccine mandate. Why didn't the LAFD deploy more resources when the weather had forecast hurricane-type winds and previous weather events contributed to the mountain fire in Ventura just a month prior? By the way, the chief in charge of all the fire resources, emergency operations, Deputy Chief Jason Hing, could have upstaged the resources or discussed upstaffing with Crowley. Why are there so many broken fire engines waiting for repairs that could have been used assisting the Palisades fire? Why did the LAFD buy helicopters that can at most drop 450 gallons? A fire engine holds 500 gallons, while the LA and Ventura counties fire heart can drop up to 1,000 gallons. Why doesn't the city implement brush clearance year-round in the very high fire Very High Fire Hazard Severity Zone, VHFHSZ in Los Angeles, California. What are the requirements? No unauthorized parking, no traveler trespass on fire breaks or fire roads, pruning and trimming of live trees, installation of gates or cables to prevent unauthorized use of fire roads. Buildings must be have fire retardant. Roofing assembly, wood shakes, and shingles are not permitted. Exterior attic openings must be protected with a non-combustible screen. This is a brilliant guy who should have been running the city. Had he been in charge of LAFD and or the mayor's office, the Palisades disaster would not have happened. And you fired a doctor who has a higher IQ than all of you sitting around this horseshoe combined. This is your disaster. You have, through your lethal incompetence, killed over 24 people. I hope you all rot in hell for what you've done to this city. Thank you so much. And Mr. Grote, I'm still waiting for an explanation as to how I was off topic talking about this on 24, 30, and 31. Mr. Grote, could you please respond, Mr. Grote? How am I off topic with 24,
So
30,
again,
and
this
31?
is not a back and forth, but if you look at the agenda
I did
descriptions
look
are
at the
fairly,
agenda. It
fairly
pertains to LAFD,
specific.
and at
So
least two
again,
of
would
the
you like to
items
move to
pertain
general public
LAFD
comment?
and the Palisades emergency. The Palisades emergency
All right,
was
general public
caused by
comment.
under-resourcing LAFD. How am I off topic, sir? How am I off topic? I don't care about this back and forth thing. You are cutting off my time. How am I off topic? How am I off topic? Yeah, okay, stony face, great. You're all sociopaths. You killed 24 people and you don't care. You fired great firefighters who could have protected people and you don't care. This is funny to you. Fuck all of you.
Okay, so Mr. Jamison, you are no longer at the podium. This is your first and only formal warning. Do not disrupt this meeting. We have another public speaker there. I'm sorry, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Owen Lei, and this is going to be general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name's Owen Lei. I'm the chef, owner, operator of Bea'u. It's a restaurant that...
Mr. President, can you hold our time? Mr. President, Mr. Jamison has already been warned. Would you like to remove him from this meeting?
Please remove him as quickly as possible.
I'm sorry, Speaker. Your time was paused. Go ahead.
And I'm the owner, chef, operator of Bea'u, which is in Councilmember Soto Martinez's district. I also live in that district. I'm here to talk to you about the needs for restaurant owners like myself. We've been the community's first responders. We're continuing to show up in this recovery process because first responders and evacuees and volunteers who continue to show up need to eat every day to survive. I have 2 asks for you. Restaurants are hurting. We need emergency support to keep our business and our staff alive while the city is reeling from multiple crises. And restaurants and volunteers who are still continuing to do meals right now to support the recovery process, not just the relief, the recovery process in our in our city need support now, institutional support. I cannot do this out of my pocket. We are also standing here in support of immigrants, the LGBTQ+ community, and our workers and everyone else.
And I'm being signaled that there are no other speakers left in the room. So I believe, Mr. President, we have exhausted public comment.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Mr. Clerk, what is before us at this time?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 2 through 13, 15, 22 through 28, 30, 32 through 36.
All right, let's open the roll on those items, close the roll, tabulate the vote. We await a vote tabulation.
Ayes.
All right, what's next?
Mr. President, the council may now consider item 1, call
All right.
special by Councilmember Lee for a motion. Please note a second is required.
All right, item 1, as amended by Mr. Lee, seconded by Mr. Harris Dawson, is now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Mr. President, the council may now consider item 14, called special by Council President Harris Dawson. Please note a second is required.
All right. Is there a second? Who was the second? Councilmember Padilla was the second, signed second on this agenda item, on this amendment. So that item is now before us. Item 14 as amendment. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
The council may now consider item 29, called special by Councilmember Rahman for comments.
Councilmember Rahman.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to call this item special. We have Ms. Stephanie Graves here today with us, who is being appointed to the role of LAHSA Commissioner for the City of Los Angeles. I had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Graves in advance of this meeting, and because we waived this item out of committee, wanted to make sure that in case other members had questions, she was available for them. But I had an opportunity to speak with you before this meeting, and I know that Ms. Graves has a long history of work with large public sector organizations and private sector organizations and significant civic engagement, both here in the city of Los Angeles and statewide. At this time, for me, I am satisfied that Ms. Graves will do what we need from a LAHSA commissioner, which is to be a strong advocate for the city and greater oversight over the dollars that are being put through LAHSA. As well as an advocate for professionalism, including bringing some of the values of oversight and accountability that she has from her private sector experience to the way that LAHSA functions and to the way that LAHSA expects that its contractors will function. I also have faith, based on our conversation, that Ms. Graves brings to this job a passion for service and will spend considerable time advocating for our city as we move forward. So I am pleased to support her nomination to the commission today, but just wanted to make sure that everyone on the council had the opportunity to ask questions if they wanted to do so. Thank you so much, Ms. Graves, for being here and for your willingness to serve, and I look forward to your work should this council approve you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Graves, for agreeing to this nomination. The Lee Andrews Group, I know, has been contracted to provide services with Metro, and I'm curious if there's any contracts under Inside Safe or under LAHSA that the Lee Andrews Group is contracted for.
No, there's no conflicts whatsoever, and I went through ethics and went through my attorney as well.
Okay. Also, can you talk a little bit about some of the most recent revelations regarding LAHSA and what your thoughts are, particularly with respect to the $50 million of funds that were granted to a number of service providers without contracts or oversight, and or some of the most recent ethics revelations with respect to the lack of Form 700 filings for more members at the LAHSA staff?
Thank you for the question. Yes, so I've read through the audits, I read through the city and county motions, I've read through all the press. I think in the motions, there's a lot of good stuff there. I would really like to get in to see what is working, what is not. I'm not in there now. I see that there needs to be huge change. I know as a business leader and as the business representative, I sit on the LA Chamber, I sit on LABC, I sit on CCA, I was a former chair, LA Global, and I chair the Steinberg Institute, which promotes good policy for mental health and substance abuse, that even though government doesn't work like business, I bring the business sense. I deal with contracts, I deal with finances, I deal with accountability, and we review that on a weekly, monthly basis, and that's what I wanted to bring to this, along with all of my technology, how the advances of technology with inputs and outputs could really help this organization.
Thank you for that. I had introduced a motion, frankly, born out of frustration with the misappropriation or gift of public funds that was discovered back from LAHSA. It is still yet to be scheduled, but I'm hoping that we will get a report back as a council to actually consider what options we have as a city going forward As you are aware, the county has also introduced a motion to separate themselves from LAHSA, and it's born out of immense frustration. Even if you look at the amount of money that's being expended related to Inside Safe, there is a convergence, if you will, a lack of distinction between LAHSA reporting out or the mayor's office reporting out on Inside Safe outcomes, some of the work associated or paid at least but to these service providers without report backs. I will tell you, I was incredibly disappointed just recently over the weekend. We have an ordinance here in the city of Los Angeles that prohibits encampments in high fire hazard severity zones on red flag days. LAHSA went out to help provide housing solutions or offer some resources to these individuals, and what I was told, what was reported back to me, is the discouragement of some of these outreach workers to actually, what was said was, oh, you know, yes, we have housing, but it's in Norwalk. You really don't want to go there, do you? That's really far from the San Fernando Valley. And it's those types of incidents that continue to engender a lack of trust, transparency, the lack of outcomes associated with the work, even though, like, even as we, you know, continue to wait for data associated with Inside Safe, for example, everything is listed at pending for more than a year. And so we have a lack of confidence, at least I do, which is why I introduced that motion. But there's a big concern about the data that is not being shared. And so I'm eager to, I know your work with Steinberg and all the various roles, but I will say that we have never had greater pressing sense of the failures associated with LAHSA, more ever present, given all of these hosts of most recent revelations, that we keep trying to make this thing work. And so I'm eager to have you to engage in further conversations, given all of your history, because we can't wait a year down the road. There are some immediate steps that need to be made with a variety of individuals, including some of the elected officials that have self-appointed themselves to serve in this role, and yet we have not seen a change in 2 years. So I preface this all to say is that I'm eager to return to a conversation with you in a few months. I'm also eager to have my motion scheduled, but it's really important for us to not just sit and wait for something to organically change, because that hasn't manifested itself, at least in the 7 years that I've been on this council, but certainly in the last year and a half, 2 years that we've seen the leadership change over at LAHSA.
Councilmember Rodriguez, I didn't take this lightly looking at this appointment with all the hard work that is needed to be done. And there definitely needs to be systemic change. And I want to partner with you and to move this along. And I'm passionate about this subject as well. So I look forward to working alongside you.
Thank you. I would highly encourage that among the most pressing areas of urgency is the disclosures of a broader, I know they're waiting on that, but the disclosures of conflicts of interest associated with far more than just the CEO position. That is something that can be moved on quickly, because the lack of public trust is born for good reason. And it's based on history that, that we've all seen, that we all continue to see get reported out in the press, and yet there's no movement or change. And so I would say that that's among the most pressing, along with just real-time data associated with those that are contracted to do the work. Instead of this, oh, well, we don't report to you, we have a contract with the county. Everyone's hiding behind who their contracted authority is, and as a result, we get zero data here. and yet we continue to foot the bill. In fact, this council was pressed, many colleagues voted to provide service providers an increase for financial resources that they, the cost of doing the service provisions in some of the contracted facilities without receipts. It would have been nice if our fire department could get that. So I would just like for you to really hone in on some of these things, and I would love to reconnect with you on this in the next few months, because for me, I'm very eager to see something change immediately. Otherwise, I think this is just, it's literally past time to separate ourselves from LAHSA.
And I really want to look into all the innovation with project management tools, with all of what there's out there with metrics and data that is so simple to do now. So I look forward to it.
Thank you for acknowledging it's really simple to do, but for some reason it just doesn't happen. Thank you.
Sure.
Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Graves, I just want to say thank you for accepting this appointment. I share some of the frustrations of my colleague about receiving the data that we constantly ask for over the years. We're promised it, and then we see a little bit, and then it falls off. But the biggest concern for me is everyone here has made a commitment to building more housing. We understand that housing is part of the solution. We build permanent supportive housing in our districts. But the lack of getting some of the people that we are putting in shelters, getting them document ready so they can accept the PSH housing. Now, I understand that there's fair housing laws that, we have to take, people from all different areas. But when we build things in our communities, we make a promise to our constituents that we are going to try to help the people of this community who live in this community on our streets to get them into this permanent supportive housing. Frustration is that when those units open up, that they're not document ready, and that focus needs to be there and prioritize them to make sure that they have those things necessary to move that next step so we can share with our community so that we can do more. That has just been a constant frustration, I think, amongst many of the people around this horseshoe, is prioritizing, the people that we are trying to help within the city of Los Angeles and making LAHSA understand that we foot a big portion of that bill to them and that they need to listen to us and work with us. But I hope that is something that you can make sure you make it a priority, because in order to actually keep that, instead of just a revolving door of getting them into, temporary housing, that to move to that next step, we get them that, everything that they need to make sure that can happen. So.
Councilmember Lee, I would love to meet with you and hear more about your frustrations, and when I get in, to understand it better.
Thank you so much, Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Graves, it's good to see you. We certainly know you by reputation. You have the background, training, and experience, I think, to do an outstanding job as a commissioner. We know your commitment. Share with us, though, you've heard, not just here around the horseshoe, but certainly in the community, the frustration that folks have about LAHSA. I think that's one of the things that prompted you to agree to serve. But any thoughts on what you can do as a commissioner to help reassure folks that the process is moving forward, that this agency is working on behalf of all residents, and that we are concerned about being accountable? What's the number one issue you're going to take on?
Thank you, Councilman Price. I want to keep reiterating technology and how the advancement and how the accountability and real-time access the public can see on websites, on apps, and I think if some of that can be put in place, because this has been an agency 30 years or so, and there's been really good, dedicated people, but with advancements and with experts in different fields, I think it can push this and have some really good change for accountability.
Thank you. Thanks for your comments, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Price, and thank you so much, Ms. Graves, soon to be Commissioner. All right, Mr. Blumenfield.
Great. Well, thank you. I'm excited to have you coming on board.
I just wanted to sort of echo some of my colleagues' concerns about the data and issues we've had with LAHSA and sort of put out there the difficulty in some ways as a board member. In LAHSA there's a dozen different decision-making bodies at LAHSA, the LACOC and others that decide whether we get HMIS, and that frustration for the last year. So we wish you good luck, but also realize that, as a board member, part of the role is to try to figure out this maze of decision-making bodies and try to get a handle on it, because that's part of the problem we understand is, as straight up as a board member, you're not going to be able to solve some of these problems because of the structure that LAHSA has, where these decisions are in multiple bodies that don't report to this council. So just putting it out there, wishing you good luck, looking forward to working with you, happy to meet with you further to talk about some of the frustrations that I've had with LAHSA, but all this stuff has been pretty public, and I'm sure you're aware of a lot of the issues and what you're stepping in.
Thank you very much. I think meeting with you would be great for just even my own data sets to understand all of the frustration.
Councilmember Jurado. Okay. All right. I don't see any more speakers on the queue. So again, thank you, members, and thank you, Ms. Graves. Let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you so much. What's next?
Mr. President, there's a request to continue item 31. Is there a date for which to continue this council item?
All right.
Agenda item?
There's a request to continue item 31, but this was called special by Councilmember Rodriguez. There's a request to continue it?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Is there a date, sir?
So without objection, that'll be the order?
It's continued to Friday? Is that correct?
And for the record, that would be Friday, January 24th, 2025.
Okay. All right. All right. What's next?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred. What's next?
The desk is clear, sir.
All right. Announcements, members? Any announcements? All right. If there are no announcements, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions. And I'll look to my left. Councilmember McCosker.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, I rise today to adjourn in the memory of John Jacob Kostrencic, who was born on June 13th, 1957 in San Pedro. And sadly, John K., as we all know him, passed away on December 26, 2024. John was the second of three sons of John and Lynn Ivanisevic Kostrencic of Croatian heritage. Born and raised in San Pedro, John attended 15th Street Elementary School, Dotson Middle School, and San Pedro High. He was the class of '72. He continued his education at San Diego State University in the engineering program. He was respected throughout the whole harbor area for his strong work ethic. While he was a student, he worked for the Port of Los Angeles starting in 1972. Then he went to work for the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety and the Department of Public Works. After that, he was a full-time employee at POLA from 1976, where he currently worked in the construction division, and he was promoted to Chief Construction Inspector in 2005. John K. was well known throughout the San Pedro community. He served on the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club of Los Angeles Harbor, and he was a member of the Dalmatian American Club. He resided in the Sea Breeze Enclave of Portuguese Bend for over 35 years, and he was also a member of the Portuguese Bend Club. He enjoyed playing racquetball and card games with friends. He enjoyed fine wine, excellent cuisine, traveling, and watching the television program Jeopardy with his wife of 10 years, Wendy. He was preceded in death by his parents, and he's survived by his beloved wife and his brothers Stephen and Michael. And he has many, many cousins, many friends, and associates throughout the region. In lieu of flowers, his family has asked that donations be made to the Boys and Girls Club, which is located on Cabrillo Avenue in San Pedro, in his memory. May John K. rest in peace.
Thank you, Mr. McCosker. Any adjourning, Ms. Rahman?
Thank you so much, Council President. Today, I rise to adjourn in memory of the legendary director and resident of the Hollywood Hills, David Lynch, who passed away last week. David was an icon of Hollywood and a visionary artist whose influence is really, for so many people, impossible to calculate. And I know the world will mourn him deeply. Born in Missoula in 1946, exactly 79 years and 1 day ago, David's family moved around frequently before settling in Virginia, where he was a popular and well-liked student and famously an Eagle Scout. He enrolled in art school to study painting and eventually ended up at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, where he became interested in film. He and his family relocated to Los Angeles so that David could join the American Film Institute Conservatory. And there, over several painstaking years, he made Eraserhead, an avant-garde surrealist nightmare that would become a cult classic in the years that followed for its unforgettable imagery, tone, and dream or perhaps nightmare-like mood, a combination that can only be described with a single word now, Lynchian. After the impact of Eraserhead, he was recruited by Mel Brooks's company, Brooks Films, to make Elephant Man about the life of Joseph Merrick. The Elephant Man would be a mainstream breakthrough for David, a box office hit that was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, the first of 3 nominations. From there, he would make films, while often considered controversial on release, are now nearly all recognized as masterpieces of the form. In 1990, David Lynch achieved his largest mainstream success, winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes and seeing his TV show Twin Peaks become a surprise sensation. Twin Peaks exhibits many of the artistic preoccupations that are present in David's work, including a fascination with Americana and small towns, the sinister heart of American families and society, and the exploitation and abuse of women in society. David lived for decades in 2 adjoining homes in the Hollywood Hills, one of which he used as a studio. His final 3 films were all set in and around Southern California: Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. And Mulholland Drive, in particular, instills archetypal Los Angeles locations such as an old Hollywood apartment building, Beechwood Canyon, and the namesake road with dread, menace, and mystery. And for me, when I was a young person watching this movie, defined Los Angeles for me before I moved here. In 2022, it was named the 8th greatest film of all time in the prestigious Sight and Sound magazine poll. His creativity knew no bounds. He was a painter and a musician who always explored the new edges of technology and distribution to figure out a way to create and share his art. A lifelong practitioner of transcendental meditation, he's remembered through the David Lynch Foundation, which promotes and connects people with what David described as a life-changing practice. He's survived by his 4 children, including Jennifer Lynch, who is herself a director, and by the thousands that knew and worked with him. In the days after his death, tributes poured in from his collaborators, nearly all of whom thought of him not merely as a coworker, but as a friend. I'll close with a quote that was shared after his death, and I read this particularly after the recent tragedy that we faced and continue to face here in Los Angeles, and it meant a lot to me. He said about LA, "I arrived in LA at night, so it wasn't until the next morning when I stepped out of a small apartment that I saw this light, and it thrilled my soul. I feel lucky to live with this light. I love Los Angeles. The golden age of cinema is still alive here in the smell of jasmine at night and the beautiful weather, and the light is inspiring and energizing. There is something about that light that's not harsh, but bright and smooth. It fills me with the feeling that all possibilities are available. It's really beautiful. And there's something about LA being so spread out, it gives you the feeling of freedom, light and freedom." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rahman. Seeing no other adjourning motions, we're adjourned. See you in the morning.